This is John Tyler Barnett, the host with the most, with the Monticello Minute Calendar. We'd like to wish all dads out there a happy Father's Day. June 8th through 12th, Evening Baptist Church, Vacation Bible School. The services from 6 to 8:30 each night. June 9th through 13th, Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church will have their Vacation Bible School Monday through Friday. The service will start at 5 o'clock p.m. each night.
Started. Hello and welcome to another edition of Monticello Minute Unscripted. I'm your host Keith Wallace, and as always we're coming to you from the Advanced Printing Company studio just off the square in beautiful downtown Monticello. My guest today is our mayor, Jason Akers. Welcome to the show, Jason.
It's good to be here, buddy.
For those of you that may not know Jason, he's been our mayor since 2023. He's got a great story, and he's got a lot to say about our community. If you would, just kind of give us a little background story about yourself, Jason.
Well, you know, I was chief of police here for 4 years under Mayor Chase when she was elected. Prior to that, I ran the 10th Drug Task Force for around 20 years. When I decided to run for mayor, it was a transition for me, you know, from a career standpoint, but it's been good. It's been a good time.
Well, I tell you, one thing I know about you is you've always been very community-minded. You always want to take Monticello to a next level, to a next step, and you work hard to do that. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Monticello, big fan of our community, and we always like to talk about on this show what amazing opportunities that we have here for our citizens and for visitors and anybody else who wants to come in and see what a great town we have here. If you could, just kind of walk us through a few projects that the city's been involved in that you would like to talk about.
Well, the big thing from an economic standpoint is the Warehouser project, and it's the groundbreaking is going to be the third week of this month, where they will officially start construction. And if anybody's been by the intermodal facility, you've seen that they've started clearing land and they're burning stuff off. So that's the big thing.
And that's out across from the complex, right?
Yeah,
Sports complex.
Directly across. It's at the foot of the big water tower.
Yeah.
Is where that's going to be. So we're excited about that. We're excited about the number of jobs.
Exactly. Anytime a business comes into Monticello, they're going to bring employment opportunities.
Yeah. Well, you know, we've all discussed our economic future for years in Monticello, and we know we've got a lot of talent here, and we've got a lot of people here that are very talented from a standpoint of the forestry and the timber industry. So Warehouse is just a really good fit for us. Yeah. And I think that the work ethic of South Arkansas is going to match what they expect. We're a working community, and we're a hard-working community. And again, our history in the timber industry is unmatched. And so I think we're going to be really well served by them, and I think they will be well served by us as well.
Yeah, I think anyone who's ever spent any time here or grew up here knows that the timber industry drives this area. Southeast Arkansas has always been driven by that industry.
That's right.
And to have a company as big as Warehouser come to our town and want to put a facility here, I think that says a lot for us as a town that's growing.
Oh, yeah.
Wanting and offering things to our citizens.
Yeah.
Of course, summertime's coming up, so you know people are really going to be taking advantage of our parks and our facilities along that line. Of course, we've had Jeff Newton on talking about our lake trails that the city maintains and help put together. And of course, we've got the city pool that people enjoy.
Oh, yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Can go out there and enjoy that, and splash pad over as well.
Jordan Park.
At Jordan Park.
Right.
And, you know, I just mentioned our sports complex. You know, you go out there about any night of the week in the spring, and it's just full. You know, families out there enjoying any sport, not just baseball, but soccer as well. A lot of leagues going on, a lot of community involvement. So we get to enjoy all that. I believe just recently the city did a citywide cleanup.
We did.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we've done that. I started that program in connection with the Keep Arkansas Beautiful through the tourism department, and they basically you apply for funding, and they will give you all the supplies that you need to conduct the cleanup. You just have to go get them and organize it and get out and and do the work.
Well, that's a good deal. Yeah.
Yeah, this was the 5th one we've done. We started we started in 2023. We tried to do 2 a year. We'll try to do one more this year. I think that the city comes out, all the city employees, and from me to the newest guy, we all come out. We all pick up trash, and I think Charlie estimated somewhere around maybe 1,800, 2,000 pounds that we picked up last week.
That's a lot.
We picked up mattresses. We pick up wigs. We pick up, you name it, beer bottles. It's everything. But and you know
it's sad that you have to do that, but it's nice that there's support to do it. Yeah.
But you know, we've got people, Eagle Forestry Services, Logan Hancock, and those folks out there came out and picked up a bunch of trash for us. We've had other groups, churches that have come out and helped us with it, and it really does. One of the things that we like to do is we utilize that we encourage people to go to a different neighborhood. Because you've got people that have lived here their whole life that have never been in certain neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And so we encourage them to go over and just see how nice these streets really are and how nice our community really is.
That's right. Yeah.
And people will say, you know, one of the ladies that works at the city makes a comment. She's like, I had no idea that it was this nice on this particular street. I've never been here, never had cause to be here. So people are seen in different parts of the community that they're normally not. And you know, during the course of that, you happen to pick up a little bit of trash. So.
Well, when it comes to the city, it's not just about creating opportunities, it's about maintaining them as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I've noticed there's been some work done up around the square. The city water office looks like there was some work done out front. Yeah. Really nice, kind of beautification of that, new sidewalk, stuff that needed to be done, and we're able to get it done. And then I've also noticed some new murals around, you know, adding some artistic flair to our community. You know, we're big supporters of the art here at Monticello Minute, and we always like to see artists work beautifying our community. Yeah. So a lot of good issues there. And I know there's a lot of things that have to be done that just have to be done. You know, you got water works and sewage works and all kind of things that have to be done to keep a city going. And I know the mayor has to oversee all that.
Oh,
so I know it's a
headache, but it's worth it, man. You know, when you wake up and you can take a shower, get a drink of water out of your sink, it's worth it.
I've always drank sink water, so I'm down for that.
Hadn't killed me yet.
No, not yet.
Hadn't killed me.
And you know, I feel like our town is continuing to grow, and that's what you want under the leadership, is to see your community grow, your town grow, continue to thrive. Right. And it seems to me like Monticello is in that type of position.
Oh yeah, we're growing. I mean, you know, you just look at the number of customers and I don't think our census is accurate. I think that it's a highly flawed process.
Yeah, you're asking people to participate a lot of times.
We're in a digital age, and,
that's right.
And people don't want to. I mean, if you can't do it on their phone, they don't want to do it. But there's no doubt in my mind that we're far in excess of what our census says we are.
I would agree with that.
And I tell people all the time, I think there's 10,000 people on 425 in the afternoon around 3:15. So if there's just that, you know, there's so many folks going through town. But we are growing. We're seeing businesses open almost here lately, almost monthly.
You know, that's something, another good sign when you're seeing businesses open up. Yeah. Obviously, a bad sign when you're driving around. There's a lot of empty lots and empty buildings. But when businesses are starting up, and of course, you know, as a city, you do everything you can to promote those businesses, and so that the citizens can enjoy them. And you know, we've got so many opportunities around us. Obviously, the city we got the lake out there that's coming back, and people are starting to enjoy it, especially with summer coming up. You know, folks are going to want to get out and enjoy the water, the Lakewood trails I talked about earlier, and all our parks. But you know, having such a good relationship with the college and everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's so important, man. Because you know, the forestry industry is very, it's super important. It's a big staple of our community, but so is UAM.
Definitely.
And without UAM, I mean, you know, think about what we wouldn't have.
Exactly.
You know, and the people that come here for that university, and their athletic program is phenomenal. I mean, from the standpoint of the coaches that are out there, they're bringing new faces and new people and new ideas. So it's really, the two are really meshing. You know, our vision and the vision for UAM, they're really meshing, and they're kind of exponentially feeding off of one another.
Exactly.
So both of them are getting better.
And you know, something we don't talk about a lot, we got a great library.
The library is awesome. It's the most that And the Western Pines Park are the two most overlooked things in town.
I agree. And Western Pines, Steve just completed a project for some pickleball courts out there.
Yeah, there's pickleball going on every day.
Yeah, that's a growing sport. People seem to really like it. So, and the library, it's right down the street from our office.
Never crowded.
And it's always a great place to go into and spend some time. Right. A lot of opportunities out there. We're actually going to have the administrator on our show here in just a couple of weeks to talk about
she's
that.
Great.
Oh,
yeah, she's great. So they're doing a great job down there.
But to kind of finish up, is there anything? I know the city has a lot to take care of. Is there anything that maybe if citizens wanted to help, is there some volunteer situations or anything that maybe they could help with moving forward?
The big thing is the citywide cleanup, and I always try to dedicate 30 minutes a day at some point in time to some type of volunteer work, whether it's getting kids out of the cars in the morning at school or whatever it is. And I would just encourage people to find their niche. If it's cleaning up your street, if it's swinging by City Hall and finding out about city government. I love it when people come in and ask questions.
Okay.
Because sometimes I'll get asked a question I don't know the answer to, so I have to find the answer and I learn something. But just get engaged and get involved and stay off of social media.
Yeah,
I mean, I know you'll broadcast.
We'll broadcast this on there, so you don't want to stay off of it.
After you watch this, get off of Facebook. Facebook's terrible, man. It's a bad place. But watch good stuff and then get off of it. But the main thing is just get engaged. Be engaged in your community. Be engaged in your church. Be engaged with your neighbors, and you'll be surprised how much that will do for a town.
Well, you bring up a great point. You're the mayor. You're here serving the city, serving the people. You're accessible. If people want to talk to you about things, they can talk to you.
Right.
And the city also has, y'all have a meeting every month where the city council meets. Everybody has city council representatives. If you have a question or you have a concern or you just want to help, reach out to your council member.
Oh yeah,
Talk with
and that's what they're there for. And
I
emphasize that with people a lot when they'll call me with a problem, and I don't mind helping. But we have elected representatives. It would be no different on a larger scale that if I had a problem or if I needed a law passed or I had a question, I wouldn't waste my time necessarily calling Sarah Sanders. She's a busy lady. I would call my state representative or my state senator, and that's kind of what that is on a much smaller scale. And the council members want to be engaged. They want to be questioned, and they want to represent their constituents, or they wouldn't run.
That's right.
And plus, they get paid, so they need to earn it. So, and they will. They'll come through for us.
I feel like a lot of people don't understand that about our local government, how it's there for us, to help us.
Yes.
And all you have to do is engage. People are there to listen.
Yeah.
And if they're given the opportunity.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I've enjoyed having you on. I'd like, if you would, is there anything you'd like to say to citizens about our town? Just finish up with saying, hey.
If I had to say something, I would say, how about that highway getting paved?
Oh, man, it looks good.
How about that?
It looks
Jefferson
good.
Street was paved.
I've heard so many people comment on how much they've enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, one of the big issues is that, a lot of the water lines that are under those streets, we had to move them or we had to make arrangements because it doesn't do any good to pave over a rusted water line. You have to cut it open to do it again. But we're going to start our second phase. We're going to submit some more streets for request of funding, I think probably July. And then we anticipate doing some more paving at that point. You're talking about the pool. We are in the process of getting some ideas of expanding the pool.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That pool's older than probably you are. I know it's older than Jeff.
I'm such a young man. I don't know about that.
Well, it was in 70. I think it was in 79. Built in 79. I think it's leaked since 70 or 81. But we're going to fix that, and we're working on those things now. Hopefully to rectify all that and just keep going, keep doing what we're doing.
When it comes to parks, we're so fortunate to have so many great opportunities. But I think people also need to remember there's so much to take care of.
Oh yeah.
You can't just focus on one thing because there's so many things that have to be maintained and have to be done.
It's just like herding cats, man. You get one thing fixed and then something else tears up. But that's okay. That's what we're here for.
Well, we thank you for your time today.
Absolutely, man.
I've enjoyed the conversation.
Absolutely. Let me know if I can help you.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break and thank our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm here with my next guest, the mayor of Wilmar, Miss Toni Perry. Welcome to the show, Miss Perry.
Thank you, Keith.
Now, for our viewers that may not know, you've been the mayor at Wilmar since 2019, I believe.
Yes.
And you're here to tell us a little bit about the city of Wilmar. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself first?
Okay.
For people who may not know you, where are you from?
Okay, my name is Toni Antoinette Perry. I'm actually from Wilmar. I spent my whole life in Wilmar. I've been engaged in politics in Wilmar since I was 16.
Wow. Okay.
So before I could even vote, I was registering voters. So that's how engaged I've been in the city of Wilmar. I was on the city council before I became mayor. And while on the city council, and during that time, I was also on the Wilmar Volunteer Fire Department that I recently retired from 2 years ago.
Wow.
Because I was just getting too old.
Just had too much
Yeah,
in the plate.
it was just too much going on. So yeah, I've been doing things in Wilmar all my life. And
Well, to be born and raised there and devote your entire life to the community.
yeah, because I love Wilmar, for real. It's genuine, it's nothing pretentious. And everywhere I go, I tell people I'm from Wilmar. And now my daughter, we've been in Florida, we've been in California, and my daughter said, my mother is the mayor, and they think that's a big deal. Not knowing Wilmar's just a little drop, but
It's a small town,
It's a
but
small
small
town.
towns are important.
it's a small town with a big heart.
That's right. I've got a lot of friends from the area. And of course, I graduated high school with your daughter. Think a lot of her.
Okay.
If you could, while we're talking about Wilmar, tell us a little bit about what's fairly new around Wilmar. I know there's a new store. When I drive through there, I
Okay.
see the Dollar Generals come in and offered a lot of new accessible items for people.
Okay, let me brag on our Dollar General.
Okay.
Our Dollar General, out of 240 stores, we ranked second in revenue.
Wow.
And so it's not only the fact that the store is busy, it's one of the cleanest stores in the area. I've gone to every Dollar General in Monticello.
Yeah.
I stopped in every Dollar General coming from Pine Bluff. And I always know that if you go in the one in Wilmar, it's stocked, it's ready, and it's very clean. And the people that work there are friendly. Some of them from Wilmar, and they just, you know that you're in a special place in that Dollar General. They don't ignore you. They know who you are. I go down there just to hang out and visit.
Well, I always
It's a
think,
hangout spot.
I always think of Wilmar as a city that cares about its people and cares about its
Right.
citizens. There's always somebody looking out to make sure needs are filled and people are taken care of. Even if it could be a city official like yourself or
It
one of
is.
your workers, or it could just be a neighbor
Well,
looking after a neighbor.
Let me say about the citizens of Wilmar. Okay, now I'm a religious and spiritual person. So even before I became mayor, all the way back years ago, God had put people in my life so that when I became mayor, any little thing that I desired, I wanted, and I would speak to someone about it, they were willing to help me. They made a lot of things happen that make me look good, but it's really God.
That's right.
And it was His vision for me to take this position in life and move forward. For example, the community center, that was my vision.
Tell us about that.
Okay, I had no idea what I wanted. I had no idea that, I just knew I wanted to do something in that building. So I wanted us to have a community center, a place where people could come and hang out. Okay, so the first thing I had to do was go up there. It was my vision. I was up there and late at night, I was sweeping, and it was like a trillion spiders in that place. And
Now, this is at the old high school?
at the old high school, and my fears are rats, snakes, and spiders. But for some reason, I could sweep those spiders up, and not. So I was up there one day, and a good friend of mine, her name is Wanda Rose, she came up there being nosy, asked me what I wanted, and so when I told her what I saw, then she saw something bigger, so that expanded on my vision. And so now, we have bingo on Tuesdays. We used to have crocheting on Mondays, but
wow.
we can't find a crochet lady. And then we have a spider Bible study on Wednesday. That means non-denomination. Everybody can come, and they do that on Wednesdays. And that's where the ladies come up there and sit.
Wow, okay. And all this is happening in the community
All this is
building.
happening in Wilmar. So we have a community store there where everything is $1. It doesn't matter what it is.
Now, where's that located?
It's in the community center.
In the center,
It's called
okay.
the community store.
Okay.
And at the beginning of the school year and winter, if families need clothing for their children, they come and they shop for free.
Wow.
And there's a lot of nice things in there. And so when they come, so their children can have a successful year and start school with nice things. So I do that too.
If I understand, there's also a gym in there?
Yes, there's a gym in there, and it's called TAPS, T-A-P, Toni Antoinette Perry, TAPS Fitness Zone. And I tell you what, Keith, the ladies that spearheaded that were also your classmates. To Kendra McNeary,
of course.
and Sakina Durden.
Of course.
Okay,
yeah,
they spearheaded that. And
Class of
Shonda Taylor.
96, yeah.
Right. So they got all the equipment donated. It's painted, it's pretty, it's nice.
And citizens can just go work out there.
For free.
For free. Stay in shape.
Stay in shape for free.
What a great benefit to a community. To have that community center, to have a fitness center they can work out in, stay shape, to have that store where people who need items can get them affordably to be able to use. So a lot of great things in
We
Wilmar.
have so many clothing in there with tags on them that, you know, some people are shopaholics.
Oh, yeah.
And so they just buy things and then they have tags on it. Children's clothes, baby clothes, women clothing. Now, we don't have a lot of men clothing, but we have some.
Well, there's probably a lot of people that drove right through Wilmar and not realize that. That is something that people might not know that I think is great information. And while we're talking about great information and talking about Wilmar, let's talk about this month and what's coming up this month.
Okay, so this month is June dinner. Now, Juneteenth was recently made a national holiday, but even before then, we always had June dinner. I want to say the late 1800s. We don't have a specific date. I just know what my grandfather told me. And my grandfather was born in 1908. And his father was born in 18 whatever. And so his father, my grandfather's grandfather was a slave. Okay, in his family or history, somebody in his family was sold to a plantation in Texas. And when the Granger rode through in 1865, they walked back to Wilmar, Arkansas. And through the course of them walking back, they picked up on this, that they were celebrating the slaves being freed. So we celebrate freedom on Juneteenth, just as all of Americans celebrate freedom from the British on the 4th of July. It means the same to us. Of course, we still had to fight for more freedoms, but initially, that first freedom was the best news that they could possibly get.
And I believe Wilmar is specifically known for this celebration. I've seen it covered statewide and nationally before in articles where people have specifically talked about Wilmar, Arkansas as being one of the premier places to celebrate
and not only
Juneteenth
that,
and June dinner holiday.
People that lived in Wilmar that has moved away, they're always coming back home. So the people that once lived there, they're coming back home. That's when they have a lot of family reunions. But not only those that live there, those in surrounding areas have made June dinner their holiday as well. We're in competition with cities now because since Juneteenth became a national holiday, there's just been Juneteenth coming up out of everywhere.
That's good. That's good.
But ours is June dinner, and it's the original. It's the OG,
original.
right?
Okay.
So we're gonna get our attention, period, because we deserve it. We work the longest and the hardest. We understand it more than the new people just popping up, calling me, trying to ask me, what are y'all? Okay, no, I'm not telling you anything else. Because
I don't want you to give away your secrets, but it sounds like the place to be. Can you kind of tell our viewers what to expect?
Okay, so Thursday night, that's bonfire night. That's the night that's set aside for the young people to run around and look at the fire. We had a fire truck, the sirens.
Oh, wow.
That was, when we first started that, it was just for the Wilmar kids. And we would roast hot dogs and they would fry brim fish in a watch pot. But as it became more recognizable, we couldn't afford to feed these people. So then we started letting vendors come.
The food truck vendors come in?
The food truck vendors, they started coming. Some come on Thursday, but the most busiest night is Friday and Saturday. And the vendor trucks would come Friday. Friday night is blues night. I don't like the blues.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's in my culture, but I don't like them.
I'm a big blues fan. I won't lie.
So Friday night we have L.J. Akers, and he's famous apparently, and he brings people from Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas. So we're expecting a big turnout for that. And Saturday night is our own locally grown G Pace, and he has a hit single
I'm aware
called
of him,
TT Love. Well, I don't know.
I'm aware
It's
of him,
about
yes,
so
yes.
he'll be showcasing Saturday night, and Saturday is an all-day thing that starts at 1 o'clock. Our parade is at 1 because traditionally people stay up all night on Friday visiting with friends and family, so no one is up in the morning, and there's only 3 people watching the parade. So we have to wait until people start stirring around, which is why our parade is at 1 o'clock.
So the stages, where will they be set up at?
Okay, we have a stage. The stage was it was the brainchild of the late Terry Jones. And the stage is now named Terry Jones Stage. It's on campus. We hope to one day get a permanent stage built, but it's a stage out there, and it's located what was once the colored school campus. So that's why it's always in that little area. And we tried to expand it because we really have outgrown that area. But people were boycotting the places we had expanded to because they said June dinner belongs there. Because back in the day, that's all the property that black people had any kind of connection to was the campus, the black school campus.
Well, what about the parade? Where does it happen?
It starts at Mount Tabor Missionary Baptist Church. All that's on South 7th Street. The old campus is on South 7th Street. And everything is in that little matchbox area.
Okay.
But people come, they enjoy it. You may have to park for a way, but once you get there, it's a family-friendly place. People come, they bring their lawn chairs, they pitch their tents, and they hang out all day.
So
And that's what we love.
3-day event, and I believe it's the 19th, 20th, and 21st,
Yes.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
June dinner is always the 3rd Saturday in June. And people got confused because normally it follows, Father's Day follows June dinner.
This
And
year
so
it's ahead of it.
It's ahead of it, yeah.
Gotcha.
And that threw a lot of people
Father's
out.
Day on the 15th, and then the 19th, 20th, and 21st would be the June dinner. In
Right.
Wilmar, Arkansas, the OG, the original,
Exactly.
famous for it, and here telling you all about it is the mayor herself,
Yes.
Miss Toni Perry. Well, I've enjoyed having you on,
Well,
and I
thank
know
you.
our viewers have enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Good luck this month,
Okay.
and we will see you next time.
Come see me.
I will.
All of y'all come over there. I'll be somewhere.
All right, and that's going to do it for this edition of Monticello Minute Unscripted. Once again, we'd like to thank our special guests, Mayor of Monticello, Jason Akers, and Mayor of Wilmar, Toni Perry. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, as always, Monticello, Chevrolet GMC, and Arkansas Superior Federal Credit Union. Please remember, the Advanced Monticellonian is your weekly news for all that's going on in Drew County. Be sure to pick up an edition at one of your favorite stores or right here at the Advance Printing Company office. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode, and we'll see you then.